All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start off by giving up praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors that was a process of great meals, telling the truth and rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutation, the icon right there. Scattered abroad to the four corners of the earth, that serving there's truth and true sincerity. To I say Shalom. This is Brother Nabala, come to another video in the spirit. And the top of this video is going to be about the fire is already kindled. And what sparked this video topic was, just looking at what's going on in the world. I seen that, I guess a couple of days ago, America and Iran is supposed to be entering into a 60-day ceasefire, which we'll see what really, happens from that and what's all going to take place. But even with them doing, even with them doing this so-called ceasefire, things are not about to cool down, okay? Things are going to continue to intensify and get worse. Now, things may just be at a standstill for a moment, but even when things are at a standstill, things are still also happening, we just don't always see it. But we know that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is still having things happen, behind closed doors, still setting things up in their proper order. But as far as these people in the world, they think that things are going to eventually get better. They have that optimistic mindset, which that's not going to be the case, because the times that we're in right now are not peaceful times whatsoever. Just because America and Iran goes into a ceasefire doesn't mean everyone that's at war with each other is going to be entered into a ceasefire. You got at a point in time you wasn't hearing too much about Russia and Ukraine, but they still are at war with each other. Now what? Ukraine had, I guess, did a very big attack on Russia, and now Russia's retaliating. So you still have that going on, which America, technically they're supposed to be back in Ukraine, and then Russia has been back in Iran. So it's just a lot going on, man. So it doesn't matter what Esau tries to do or think he's going to be able to do. The fire is already kindled, man. And when Yahweh Shah returns, he's going to add to that fire. But the fire that's kindled right now is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm gonna grab this. This is Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says, "To everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven." Yeah, so there's a time for everything. And when I'm gonna jump to verse 8, it says, "A time of love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace." And we're in a time of war, man. And there's war going on all over the world, man. You got the war between America and Iran, and with the people over there in the land. You got Ukraine and Russia. You got China that wants to take over, I think it was Taiwan. I believe you got North and South Korea still at odds. And then over here in America, you got internal war going on, which is a race war, which is brewing. That division between Esau and Jacob is growing more and more. I was just watching a clip. I don't know who this man was. I don't know if he's a government official or what. I don't know, but he was saying that he was basically surprised to see how the growing racism that's happening right now, is saying this is basically getting back to the point like it was in the 1960s, where he was just blatantly racist. He said, but the times we're living in now is basically giving him remembrance of those times back then, and that's going to happen because the scriptures talk about people fighting against one another. People talk about the race war that's going to take place, So the fire is kindled, and there's nothing he can do to try to put it out. There's nothing no one can do to try to put this out. There's no solution. The only solution to fix these problems is Yahweh returning and establishing the kingdom, man. That's the only solution. So I'm gonna grab this. This is Isaiah 13:4. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people. A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathers together. The Lord of hosts musters the host of the battle. Yeah, and the Lord is mustering up the host of the battle. You know, all these nations, they haven't just been preparing and getting their weaponry together for no reason. Okay, ultimately they've been doing it because the Heavenly Father's been putting in their minds, you know, to do these things, because these nukes, man, these missiles are the weapons of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay, they're gonna be the weapons of his indignation. So all these other nations who have been able to build up their armory, you know, build up their arsenal. They're ready to use them, you know, because like the scriptures say, the nations are mad at this place. The nations are mad of America. They have realized that America is not who they thought it to be, you know, and realized that Esau is the bad guy. And they've been getting the short end of the stick at all the different deals that they've been making with him, and then they seeing how he's conducting himself. He's showing how he is truly the hammer of the earth, man. Like the scriptures say, hold on. This is Isaiah 14:6. It says, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger and persecuted and none hindered. Yeah, that's what he has done. He has smote the nations with a continual stroke, constantly with that hammer. You know, constantly just asserting his dominance, you know. But now it's at the point where now these nations don't have to take that anymore. You know, because they was in that mindset because of what America did back in 1945 when they dropped Fat Man and Little Boy on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So that put all these nations in the world in fear and subject to America being the superpower of the world, because they have never seen nothing like that ever happen before. But now all these other nations, they're on the same playing field. They have nukes now. Okay, they can fight back, you know, if need to. And we're seeing now with Iran. You know, for America to be this such great, powerful nation, military is such a great military, this Iran problem shouldn't even be lasting this long. But it is, because Iran has been able to build up their weaponry, and they can stand on their own now. So and then also you got Iran say that they're not going to be forced into converting into what America wants. They're not going to do it. They say they're not going to be basically forced into submission. You know, so Iran is not backing down, and they're not going to back down, man. Because what? Iran basically has control over the Strait of Hormuz. You know, and America can't do nothing about it. And you see America trying to go around and get help from all these different nations and their so-called allies, but no one wants to help you. No one wants to deal with you, because, like it says, the Lord has exposed Esau in America as being that wicked place, you know, and no one wants to deal with you anymore. So I'm gonna grab this. This is Joel 3 and verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man. It says, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Yeah. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say I'm strong. And those are farming tools, you know, plowshares and pruning hooks. It says, turn them into swords and spears. I mean, get ready to go to war, you know. Let the weak say I'm strong. And we see that the nations that were once on a weaker level, you know, that couldn't defend themselves, that wouldn't be able to fight back, now they say they're strong now because they are. Russia, China, Iran, Korea. You know, it's all these different places that have these nukes, man. You know, that's one fear that Esau has is a nuclear war, man. But that's what the next war is gonna be, because what did the Lord say? You come over here real quick to Isaiah, I believe 9:5. It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning in a fuel of fire." Yeah, talking about those nukes, man. That's what the next war is going to be fought with. Okay, and what war am I talking about? War 3. And where do you go? You go to Revelations 11:14. It says, "The second woe is past. Behold, the third woe cometh quickly." Yeah. And what is that talking about? It's talking about those two worlds, man. They have passed, and the third one cometh quickly, man. The third war is fastly approaching. We're in the beginning stages of that, man. Okay, and there's nothing you can do to stop that from happening, because Yahweh Shem Yahushai said it was going to happen, so it's going to happen. So, come back over here. And that third war is going to be fought with those nukes, man. Those nukes being shot off, man. And a majority of those nukes going to be shot up over here at this place, because all these nations are going to turn against this place. The Lord is going to put in these nations' minds to shoot those nukes off at this place. So, it's Joel 3. Back to Joel 3 in verse 11. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all you heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh's judgment. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about." Yeah. So the Lord is getting these nations all prepared to come up to fight in that great World War III over there, that's going to take place in the Middle East, man. That's where the valley of Jehoshaphat is going to be, over there in the Middle East. That's why all that tension is happening over there right now, man. Because the Lord is getting ready to draw all the nations in to fight over there, because that's where it's going to take place at. Okay? So all these things are happening, and they're not going to return. These things are not going to return back to normal. Things are not going to return back to the state that it once was. But of course, people think they are, and they have that hope and and they're optimistic about it. But that optimistic shit not going to mean nothing, man. This is the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and it's going to happen. So I'm gonna grab these last two scriptures. I'm gonna close. This is Luke 12:49. It says, "I am come to send fire on the earth. What will I if it be already kindled?" And Yahushua is returning to send fire. He's coming to bring more fire. It says, "What will if it already be kindled?" Why? Because this place is already going to be burning. These nations are already going to be at war with each other, man. You know. And then when Yahushua comes, he's going to add more fuel to that fire. And how? Because he's going to destroy all these nations. All of them. And the one nation that's going to be destroyed completely is America. America's going to be completely and utterly destroyed, man. So, the fire's already kindled. And I'm going to grab this last scripture and I'm going to close out. And it's going to continue to grow. Isaiah 55:11. It says, "So shall my word that goeth forth out of my mouth, it shall not return unto me void, says, but it shall accomplish that which I please it, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it." Yeah. So the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is not going to return to him void, man. They're going to accomplish. It says they're going to accomplish that which I please. I mean, they're going to do what they're set to do. So the third woe coming quickly. So World War III is a thing that's going to happen. We're just waiting on the other prophecies that had to take place before then, which is the MOTB being brought out and made mandatory, with the NWO system being established. You know, Jacob's trouble reaching to his full I don't want to say potential, but to his full heights, I'll say. You know, We're waiting on those prophecies to happen, but the main one is the MOTB being made mandatory. And when that is being made mandatory, that's when World War III is going to kick off. And we already know while World War III is taking place, that's when Yahushua is going to return, man. So we're very close, you know. And these things are continue to happen and move forward until those things take place. You know, until all the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is fulfilled. So that's pretty much it. Lord willing, this video is edifying. I'm going to close out by giving our praises to Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua, by Shur Kakadash. Shalom.